Right guys, we're going to do a tier list today for Predecessor. Revenant just dropped, so we'll review that character at the end. So let's get started with Countess. She's probably going to go into A tier. Strong mid laner, strong assassin, great to clear, great sustain, an all-round solid pick. Crunch, probably going to be B tier. I think with the recent changes and nerfs to his kit, he was strong initially when the game came out. And obviously a lot of people picked him. But I think since his nerfs, he's still a good pick. But I think there's probably some better picks in the offlane. Deca, probably one of the worst supports in the game right now. I feel like her kit was a lot better. I feel like she's got a bit too much going on at the moment. Maybe if they removed her ultimate and changed it with the slow bubble from back in the day, I don't think supports really need damage in their kit. Doesn't really help anybody, especially when you're trying to support people. I know people have put damage and built damage around her, but I play support a lot, and that's the last thing I think about is trying to build damage into the support, because you're there. Your number one job is to protect the carry and make sure they escape, and that's the last thing you want to do is try and steal the kills off the carry. Drongo next, I think is an all-round good carry pick. To be fair, there's not that many carries in the game, so I feel like they all roughly are around about the same. Drongo's got good abilities. Feng Mao, probably B tier. I feel like Feng Mao needs some help. Definitely needs help with the mana situation at the moment. It's mandatory that you need to build mana into your build to keep him in the lane, to keep him sustained. I do like Feng Mao. I used to play him a lot back in the day. So yeah, I think it just needs some love, I think. Faye, probably going to be A tier currently. I think they just buffed her abilities with all the mid laners, so they are currently all in a good spot. Faye has got a great ultimate, combos well with other characters. She's got a good slow, good ultimate, good clear. So I think she's an all-round solid pick for mid lane. Gadget next. I think she's going to go into the B tier. I think out of all the mid laners at the moment, she's probably one of the ones I'd pick last. So she has a good ultimate. She's got an alright escape, and she's got good poke potential. She's very easy to collapse on. I know we've all got dash, and obviously it's on a 5-minute cooldown, but I feel like she needs a little bit more in her kit for me to pick her more than some of the other mid laners. Gideon next, probably one of my favourite mid laners. Great ultimate. Could do a lot with that, especially with other characters. Good escape, good clear. I feel like the right mouse button ability could do with some changes, to be honest. But overall, a really good pick for mid lane. Grux next. I think Grux is also going to be A tier. Some people may not agree with me on that one, but I think he's a great jungler and a great offlaner. I know he does very well in team fights. He's good at engaging. He's good at disengaging. So overall, solid pick. Howitzer, also going to be an A tier. I think Howitzer's ultimate is great for singling out targets. The kit overall is really nice. It has a slow, and the ultimate's good. The rocket's great. So I think overall, again, good pick in the mid lane, especially with the recent buffs. Kalari, I think, is going to be B tier. I think a lot of other characters especially if you pick her in the jungle role. She's alright if you can get ahead of other junglers and characters, but if she falls behind, you do definitely struggle a lot. If you can get the right person on it, it can also be the best player in the team. Chimera next. I think Chimera is going to be A tier. I think one of the best junglers at the moment. Good for engaging, especially early game. You can get those early ganks in. Does a lot for the teams. Great for sustaining health with the regen. Great tank. So yeah, overall good pick. Belica. I think she's going to go into D tier. I find that Belica is one of the weakest characters in the game right now. I know a lot of mid laners got buffed, but she can be either a mid laner or support. I'd probably pick neither because I feel like there's other characters that do a lot better things than her. Maybe her kit needs a bit updating. But yeah. Murdoch next. I think Murdoch will also be a really good pick. Solid ultimate. So yeah, overall good pick. Muriel, I think, is going to be D tier as well. Overall, weak support. I feel like because it's favourable to pick a tank at the moment in support because it helps with team fights, because a lot of the team will pick more offensive characters. So if you pick a weaker support, your team fights do struggle. Obviously, if your team picks a bit more tanky, you could pick her, but I'd probably pick Decker over Muriel. But yeah, I think a kit needs to be looked at, I think. Narbash, I'm going to put in B tier. Overall, a good support, I think. His abilities could do with looking at. I feel like his regen could be buffed quite a lot, even if it costs more mana, but you could feel it by helping your teammates. I feel like there's a couple of people who support better than Narbash at the moment, but I wouldn't be opposed to somebody picking this. Rampage, I'm going to put in A tier again. I think Rampage is a good jungle pick. Overall good character, really good for engagements, really good sustain with his ultimate in team fights. Overall, a really good jungler. Richter was going to be the first one in S tier. Probably one of the best characters in the game at the moment. Really good stuns, mitigation, good tank, good support, good offlaner. Could possibly do in the jungle, but I think Richter's probably one of my best characters in the game at the moment. Sevarog, I'm going to also put in B tier. I don't think Sevarog's bad. I think Sevarog's Siphon could do with being looked at the moment. It's not hard to get the stacks. I feel like he needs to be a bit stronger early game. Obviously late game he is a good tank, and obviously if you build around his health sustain, he is exceptional late game as a tank. But I think he needs a little bit of buffing. Sparrow next. I think Sparrow will be A tier. I think again all the carries are in a good position at the moment. They all have good kits. Nothing to dislike about any of them really. Sparrow's a good pick. Again, there's not many carries at the moment, but they are all roughly in a good spot. Steel, S tier. Steel is, again, one of the best characters in the game. He can do multiple roles, the offlane, the jungle, support. Really good tank, really good on the offense. Again, I think at the moment, Steel is possibly, I would think, mandatory in each team, just because he's that good. Could possibly do with getting a little bit of nerf to it, or maybe it's the items he carries. But again, Steel, S tier. And last, we have Revenant. Revenant's going to be B tier. And the reason why is even though he hits like a truck, you do get caught out sometimes with your right mouse button with the reload. Yeah, so he'll get caught out in team fights if you don't keep an eye on his gunshots. I know a lot of people may find that quite confusing, and a lot of people would probably have him in S tier. He is extremely strong, but I feel like some people will more often than not get caught out in team fights because all it takes is a split second and you haven't got damage off your carry, you will lose the team fight. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and obviously if you didn't or did agree with me, you can let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and subscribe.